So this weekend, I had a pretty full weekend of stuff to work on. First of all, I painted these doors. I actually had them sitting out there on sawhorses, so that way I could get both sides. And you do one side, a couple of coats, flip it over, do the other side, a couple of coats, and so on. The other thing I started working on is this floor. So I have a subfloor, and you've probably seen it in some of the videos, but it's pretty gnarled. Like whenever I was first installing it, it kind of got left in the sun. I also used nails. So then when I went back with screws to kind of fix it, it left some like jagged bits, and it just wasn't, it's not very even. Like it's fairly even, but it needed either something called, that there's like a concrete type thing you can pour over. It's like a self-leveling floor. And I could have done that, but to be honest, this is just easier. This is just 5mm, just a little bit less than 1/4 inch plywood. That's easy to cut. You slap it down. I'm gonna screw all this down, all the way down right now. It's just kind of sitting there for spacing. So be working on that over this next couple of days. The other thing I worked on was getting this cabinet and this storage platform underneath the fridge all set up and good to go. You can see this is going to be a nice big storage unit here. That's for my, it's going to have a bar across the middle there for hanging storage, so it'll actually be a closet. And then beyond that, you have this storage unit down here that's underneath the fridge. So you have your fridge here, right on the other side of the kitchen, and it's a freezer fridge. See, beyond that, I worked on something called PCF. This is actually a wraparound. It's kind of dirty right now, but it's like a vinyl plastic type stuff, so it literally washes off with water. But it wraps all the way around the entire tub area, so that way I can avoid any moisture problems inside of the walls. This all is going to be epoxied, so I'm going to paint epoxy onto that entire frame, so that way I can avoid water getting behind the window frame. And then I even did the roof up there. So that'll all get caulked and sealed, and it'll all get trimmed out so it'll look nice and pretty. Beyond that, I worked on getting the stub outs hooked up to the water lines here. So water works now. I also got the propane stove installed. I have their propane hooked up back there, all tested out. And so this is all screwed in there. These actually go in really easily. There's usually just a couple, you pop off this top, it just pulls up. And then there's a couple of screws in here, a couple of screws in there. And then there's a couple in the bottom that go up at an angle. So did all of that this weekend. Over this next couple of days, I'm gonna be working on getting the floor done. And then I'm going to be painting all of the rafters, and the trim work around here will all get done, so you can see like that gap back there. So that's all gonna get filled in with trim work. So yeah, painting, trim work, that'll be the big stuff after I get done with the floor. That'll be all the big stuff. And then after that, I'm actually going to put down the vinyl plank flooring. And then the last bit that I'll be doing is, beyond that, will be all of the kitchen cabinet fronts and the shelving up here, and the cabinet front over here, and I'm going to put a front down there as well. So drawers and such will get put on. The bedroom upstairs still needs a little bit of work. It's not a ton that it needs, but it still needs a little bit of work. But after this week, the big stuff is just going to be the shelving up there and the cabinet fronts. So that's it.